And now it's time for What's Hot. We talk about stories that have all of us talking.
We are joined today by Susie Falk of the Falk Group PR. And Jeff Wagner is back. Our first topic today, should communities be able to ban convicted sex offenders? This comes as the city of Racine recently made it tougher for the state to house sex offenders near schools, daycares, and playgrounds. Now the village of Sturtevant wants to do the same thing.
Where are they all going to go? I mean, if everybody...
That is the problem.
You know, I could crack a joke about, putting them all together, but I won't. There's a reason why we have laws, and sex offenders, just like other types of criminals and felons, once they've paid their debt to society, they do have a right to live amongst us. I think the state has a very strict monitoring policy. Residents are notified when someone moves who's a sex offender into the community. You can look for them online. There are maps. So I don't like what Racine is doing, or Sturtevant, for that matter.
See, you're right. See, this is the problem. You have to go somewhere, and no community wants convicted sex offenders pouring in. Nobody wants to live next door to a convicted sex offender, but you have to be able to live somewhere. I think that the beef would be if you have certain communities that become dumping grounds where a disproportionate number of people go in, but actually, I mean, to the extent that you're trying to return offenders back to the community where they came from, I think that's fair. And I think just arbitrarily saying we're going to pass zoning ordinances that make it impossible to put anybody anywhere, that doesn't solve the problem. They got to go somewhere. That's just the reality.
Yeah, all my years in reporting here, I mean, I've never seen a solution that worked on this problem. And so, but the one thing that I think people are surprised is when they do look at the zip code and see how many people might be living in their neighborhood, they're usually pretty surprised because there are a lot of people in your zip code no matter where you live.
Yeah, and that awareness raising is really important. And in my neighborhood, we know where they live, and we're all kind of on the lookout, and we're taking precautions. So.
And that's important to know.
In your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? Oh, come on.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Coming up next. Men, we've
something for a different day?
Yes. Men, we've all heard our wives or girlfriends say, "I'm fat." While it may seem harmless, some of those comments could actually have a deeper, darker meaning. More of What's Hot next.
Are you guys ready to see some talent?
Watch the premiere of America's Got Talent next Tuesday on today's TMJ4. Then listen to Mornings with Danny Clayton on 94.5 The Lake, and you can win $100 or a trip to Las Vegas.
I was searching a job, so I applied for Social Security, and I was denied.
If you've been denied your Social Security disability benefits, call Tabak Law Offices. We know how to cut through the government red tape and help you get your money.
Sorry, this is only for the Time Warner cable team.
What's this about faster internet?
With our fiber-rich network, you can get speeds up to 50 megs.
You know Time Warner Cable is the winning team.
We do. We know that.
One TWC.
Internet, TV, and phones starting at only $89.99.
Call 1-855-1-TWC.
1-855-1-TWC.
Shouldn't be saying this, but if you call now, you get a $200 reward card.
Thank you.
Switch to a better entertainment experience. Guaranteed. Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better.
I'm Molly Faye from the Morning Blend. For dinner tonight, a mac and cheese dish with veggies and chicken in it. You'll like it because it's easy, and the kids will like it because it tastes good. Go to centuryfoods.com for the recipe. Preheat your oven to 400 and then combine these ingredients in a bowl. 3 tablespoons country crock spread, a cup of milk, 8 ounces of cooked rotini pasta, 2 cups of diced cooked chicken, 4 cups thawed frozen vegetables, and 2 1/4 cups of shredded low-fat cheddar cheese. Put that in an 8-inch baking dish. And then in a separate bowl, you'll combine a 1/4 cup of dry breadcrumbs, a tablespoon of grated Parmesan cheese, and 1 tablespoon country crock spread melted. You'll sprinkle that mixture on top of the pasta mixture and bake for 30 minutes or longer so that it's heated through. This is a great twist on a classic comfort food recipe. You'll find it and other great deals online at centuryfoods.com, and be sure to look for the What's for Dinner logo.
At D&M Heating and Air Conditioning, at your service is more than just a slogan. It reflects decades of quality service and customers who only choose D&M.
D&M at your service.
Got something to smile about? A birth, job promotion, vacation? Email your photos and caption to I Contribute at tmj4.com. Presented by Dental Associates. Smile more.
Chief Storm Team forecaster John Milan.
We do have great radar. We have a dual radar system, but our experience gives us that edge to help you stay safe from those storms. Storm Team 4, there's no safer place to be during severe weather.
Welcome back, everyone. We have these little pop-up showers around the region. This is from Chopper Forward Power Zoom, Cedar Grove. And you can see that rain shaft in the tail end of the storm there. Very small area of a little bit of a downpour. What's going on here is we get these showers popping up, and our atmosphere is what we call capped. That is difficult to get bigger storms in the region. What needs to happen is you need to have a cold front come through, which we will not today, or you need the atmosphere to cool down a little bit. And so if you're looking for some bigger storms, I think it'll happen sometime around sunset or a little bit later here locally. But until then, we'll continue with these popcorn showers like we're seeing now in parts of Racine and Kenosha counties. You can see this little one now in Sturtevant, moving into Racine, eventually into Wind Point. This one's losing some steam. This one's developing quite rapidly, but as I mentioned, it gets to a certain point and then it just rains itself out. There's some thunder, maybe some pea-sized hail in this as it heads up toward Union Grove. Now made its way through Twin Lakes and Paddock Lake, but nothing severe at this hour here locally. Bigger picture, we did have that severe thunderstorm made its way through extreme northwestern Dodge, western Fond du Lac counties. That was around 2:30 to 3 o'clock. That has moved off into the Green Bay area. But this is where all the activity was expected to be today and is where it has been this afternoon. Severe thunderstorms west of Madison, making their way through Platteville and up toward the Dells. We'll continue to watch our area closely, but I think not until later this evening until we start to see some bigger storms around here. Until 7 o'clock, though, there is a tornado watch, Fond du Lac and Dodge, and it goes all the way back through western Wisconsin and all the way up north, extreme northwestern part of the state, and right here in the southeast, we are not under the watch except for Fond du Lac and Dodge. Otherwise, the middle part of the state is prime condition for severe thunderstorms and potentially even some tornadoes. If there's a bullseye for tornadoes today, it's basically from Des Moines down towards Oklahoma City, including Tulsa, Joplin, and I think there's another little area in central Illinois as well, near Bloomington Normal. Tomorrow, I said this yesterday, that is the best day for us to see severe weather here. The front has been kind of stalled off to the west, and that's why southwestern Wisconsin was the bullseye last night. It is again this afternoon, and as that front gets a little bit closer, it'll help these clouds continue to develop. They're building, and we will see some scattered downpours throughout the afternoon and early evening, but when you get the front in the area, it creates more lift, and these clouds get even larger and become a little bit more dangerous as well. It is warm. It is humid and it is windy. 85 degrees and humid here in Milwaukee, 84 in Whitewater, 76 in Watertown, 82 in Fond du Lac. It is windy with those winds 25 to 30 miles per hour out of the south and southeast, and dew points are in the mid to upper 60s. It feels like summer, and we're getting those typical summer popcorn showers and thunderstorms developing. Tomorrow, though, you'll see the more activity like we're seeing off to the west, more closer to home. Lows tonight will be in the 60s after those late evening rain showers push on through, and you can hear some rumbles of thunder as well. Friday's highs will be in the low to mid 80s across the region, and a better chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon as this cold front finally moves into our region. We don't want the large hail or damaging winds, but the best chance for that is tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. 64 degrees with some evening storms, otherwise mostly cloudy. 82 tomorrow, late afternoon to evening storms once again, and a high of 82 degrees. Not quite as windy either. 7-day forecast shows a few scattered showers lingering on Saturday and 77. Then it gets quiet and cool Sunday through Tuesday with highs in the 60s. Once again, some popcorn showers around the region as we speak, but nothing severe in southeastern Wisconsin at this time.
All right, good to hear. Thanks, Brian. And now more of What's Hot.
Again, we're joined by Susie Falk and Jeff Wagner of News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Our next topic today, ladies. Does this sound familiar? My rear end is big, my stomach is huge, my arms are wobbly. Researchers call it fat talk, and it was the topic of an article in the New York Times. According to those researchers, this kind of talk is a contagious bonding ritual that can set the stage for eating disorders.
It's so sad. We are so hard on ourselves. You know, I think the media is much to blame because it creates this sort of ideal of a woman that isn't realistic. And so, you know, we go around measuring or trying to measure ourselves up to that ideal image. I think we all need to, you know, look deep inside and realize we're more than just skin deep and try not to go there. So, Courtney, I'm not going to say you look terrible today. You look terrific, right? And when you get a compliment, this is the other thing. Women don't know how to take compliments. It's okay to say thank you.
Or believe. Because I think if you get a nice comment, you're like, oh, come on, that's not true. And then you start pointing out
But I do think you can find people to surround yourself with who, you know, there is an exchange of compliments. You all meet for dinner and everybody says, oh, you know, your hair looks great, I love your outfit, and then you kind of move on.
And move on, because there are so many other things to talk about. That's the other thing. I wish we wouldn't get so caught up in sort of that yeah, anyways, so that's how I feel about that,
All I
Jeff.
know
How
is
about
if people take nothing away from this segment, let me give you some advice. If the question is, does this blank make me look fat?
Yeah.
The answer is no.
Always no.
Absolutely.
But we need to stop asking that question.
Right. But the other thing I did like was the Dove commercials, which
Love
talked
the
about,
Dove
you know, and I think that was
yes.
so poignant.
Yes.
And I think most people should look at that and see that
Agreed.
they are beautiful. All right, our final topic today. A Japanese teen racks up a $54,000 bar tab. Jeff Wagner can't even do this. And the credit company has to pay. But some people think that the different club and bar owners should be held responsible, as well as maybe instead of having the 16-year-old pay for it, who should pay for it?
Well, the 16-year-old should pay
that's
for it.
where
I mean,
I'm
it might
thinking,
take 30 years, but he racked it up.
Or his dad.
And he stole a Platinum American Express card from his old man and went out and, you know, blew this all on $1,000 bottles of champagne and all that type of stuff. And now some judge says, no, it's the responsibility of American Express.
That's crazy.
Nuts to that, right? I mean,
Well,
this
what's the drinking age in Japan, though? I mean, if it's...
Oh, he was underage. The club shouldn't have let him in.
Okay, yeah,
well, then
the club definitely
holds
should have known.
responsibility on
The
this.
tab is getting ridiculous. I mean, for his age, anything over $100.
Right. But see, this isn't like, okay, somebody steals your purse or your wallet and then starts running up a tab on your credit cards before you can report it. This was the guy's son who took the credit card.
Okay, so this guy's underage. Are there no repercussions for the clubs that served him?
Well, I think that's a different story. I mean, obviously there's underage drinking and stuff, but as far as who should pay, oh, come on, you make American Express pay, which means we have to pay?
Right.
I don't think
Must
so.
have been a fun night for that kid, huh?
Yeah, $54,000.
He gets off scot-free.
I can't even imagine.
No.
Or scotch-free. All right, we'll take a quick break and be right back.